We are going to dive deep into one of the most emotionally intense part of this journey, which is like the chasing. So if you feel you are chasing, obviously there is a reason, and that's how it has been designed in the separation phase of the twin flames. So if you feel you are in this dynamics of chasing, it is that you are just doing that. I mean, like it's just not your one person who is doing that, because there is the reason there is like there is a healing and a lot of release of control is required. That's how most of you like end up in chasing, because you need to establish some sort of peace there. So I wanted to run through a few important steps in this journey, considering the illusion of separation and why many people end up in chasing, and how really you need to, how you can bring peace into this aspect. So if you really think your twin flame is going to magically complete you and everything what you desire, once you united with them, it's not going to be like that. Twin flames are often very different personality, just because of the lifetimes of separation you have experienced, and many things you have gone through in the past. Just because of that, you just see that you, even if it's like one consciousness, you carry maybe some different belief system. So that means you need to bring harmony into all this aspect, where you have disappointment, where you have resentment, you have, all those feelings. So due to the separation of lifetimes, what you have experienced, which also requires the soul to have a soul mastery and growth, and that's how you end up in healing in this life. So even though they are your perfect match, there is a lot of illusions are there, before you just come into union. Many of you have identified or idealized the harmonious union as a fantasy, but there is a real truth to that, it's because it's a very normal life. And all the separation phases, what you're experiencing is just a disharmony in that harmonious union phase. So you can look at a couple of things in terms of like understanding what is this misalignment, and let's also explore some of like the basic belief system, which is basically holding your union into kind of a block, or maybe not able to be manifest that. So if you're really avoiding yourself, that somewhere you have a belief that if someone else is going to do the work for you in terms of like doing other things, then that is number one mistake, because separation is never going to be a real thing. The separation basically point towards a misalignment. It's because God had created as you one. So when you feel distant from your twin flame, it is a sign that there is something misaligned with love, which is actually need your focus and attention, where you really need to pay attention and give that love. Obviously, separation was a choice at some point of time. So all you are doing is like you're healing that. Second is like you need to fill your cup first. That means your twin flames just mirror your relationship with yourself and God. So when you chase them, or when you're trying to get love from them, that means outside of you, you're not never going to get fulfilled. So that means you need to fill your cup. That means you need to love yourself. You need to give all your emotional needs to yourself. So that's where the union gets magnetized. So obviously this is a beautiful gift, what twin flame is giving to you, but just understand that that also has that much of care and attention is required to bring that blossom into your life. The other point is about self-love. That means union is not chasing. It is about you're just, giving yourself everything. Now the third point here is attachment, right? The true love never is an attachment. It is not about even control. Twin flame journey is a path that you are learning to love unconditionally. That means when unconditional love, there is no codependency, there is no control. That also means you need to let go of all your old patterns where you've been living in so far, which is again part of the ego. So in truth, you are actually learning to surrender to God, having a very humble life with God. So which is also help you to bring a lot of harmony in place when you choose surrender and let go of all your control. So there are certain aspect of the your own belief system you need to change with respect to the ego what you have chosen so far. So that becoming like letting go of the attachment, that means surrendering is becoming like you choosing love, or your goal is to bring love to every part of you. That means also you sharing the love with everyone. So if you really carry any sort of attachment or a control, then obviously you're just gonna stuck in this journey, which is not gonna help you. Because simply the unconditional love is, it's basically the unconditional love within you, right? So you can what you can use is a mirror exercise of healing all these patterns. Now if you look at like the fourth one is about what is actually the core issue with your twin flame, maybe what is the core block which is coming up. So most of the time you feel that your parents or siblings or those should be your emotional caretakers, and it doesn't happen because there is also dependency with another soul, right? Because you believe something is always outside of you instead of believing in your own wholeness or completeness. So in that case, you become in the kind of a looping of, sort of like chasing your twin flame, or maybe trying to get the emotional thing fulfilled through outside, which is not really going to help. So you need to fulfill your emotional needs to yourself. Always you can ask this question about what is that I'm still not fulfilled in within me, or maybe if you're really carrying some core wounds, because most of the time it comes from the past experience, like you've gone through a lot of things as experiences and you'll end up in this situation. So number 5 is about a lot of compassion and support what you need to give in this journey to yourself, because healing your union requires a lot of compassion. You have to hold a lot of patience here. If you're operating, majorly if you operate in your life from a blame or sort of like resenting to people, holding a lot of those kind of vibration, it's not gonna help you at all. That also means you learning to be compassionate to yourself. That means you talk to yourself, how you're judging yourself. So you need to bring a lot of compassion in place. And in a nutshell, it's all about like you don't have to stay in any sort of like push and pull if you're feeling with the ego and divine. You just can let go of the ego and choose peace there. That also means you're choosing to love yourself and allow God to love you. So if you choose fear, if you choose separation, they are gonna mirror and choose that. Instead of that, if you feel that you are safe in love and you're choosing God, that means you are in completeness with yourself, or you are in wholeness. So they are going to choose that. So the moment you are in wholeness, they choose the wholeness, and that's how you magnetize the twin flame into your life. So just remember that there are a few things you need to kind of look at this journey and bring a lot of balances and harmony there.